In the late 1950s, a wave of senseless violence hit the suburbs of Perth. No pattern, no obvious suspect. Yet, someone terrifying was walking the streets at night. His name was Eric Edgar Cook, a husband, father of 7, and later one of Australia's most infamous serial killers. People called him the nightcaller because his attacks came in the dead of night, random and unpredictable. Over 4 years, his crimes would leave Perth terrified. But no one knew he was behind them, yet. Next, we'll look at how his killing spree began. Cook's killing spree began around 1959. But this wasn't a typical serial killer with a pattern. He shot, stabbed, strangled, even ran people down with cars. Victims were young and old. Men and women, nothing linked them, except one thing: violence in the dead of night. One victim was shot in bed. Another was answering a front doorbell. Another walked into his house, only to be killed instantly. Perth's sense of safety was gone. People locked their doors. Dogs barked at shadows. After years without answers, police finally found a clue: a rifle buried in some bushland. Ballistics proved it was the murder weapon used on a teenage babysitter. Police laid a trap. They replaced the real gun with a fake one and tied it to a near-invisible piece of fishing wire. For 17 days they waited and waited. Then, just after midnight on the 1st of September 1963, the killer walked into their trap. He bent down, trying to grab the gun, and was arrested on the spot. Who was this man? What came next would shock. Once arrested, Cook first denied involvement. But detectives pushed him, one officer saying, "You're gonna hang. Think of your wife and kids." And that was all it took. Cook confessed, not to one murder 8, and to 14 attempted murders and hundreds of burglaries. He could remember every detail: names, places, how each crime was done. He even admitted crimes that innocent men had already been convicted for. This man wasn't just a killer. He was Perth's darkest secret. But the story wasn't over. At trial, Cook claimed he was insane, blaming childhood trauma, mental illness, and emotional damage. But doctors said he was sane and fully responsible. In November 1963, he was convicted of willful murder and sentenced to death by hanging. On the 26th of October 1964, he walked to the gallows at Fremantle Prison, becoming the last person executed in Western Australia. Decades later, 2 men wrongly convicted for murders he committed were finally exonerated, showing the profound damage his crimes had caused